Hello, I'm David.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Pierre from Simple Plan, and you are watching Banter Zine.
So the album you're touring now, Get Your Heart On, you're trying sort of different things with the album while kind of revisiting old ground, sort of, similar to No Pads, No Helmets, Just Balls.
I think...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think this record is all about having fun. It was about throwing back to the spirit of the first two records, So No Pads, obviously, and still not getting any. We just wanted to kind of throw a big party, bring a lot of guests with us, have a good time. But at the same time, obviously, as a band, you want to grow and push the boundaries of what, you can do and what, and just try new things. So on the third record, we experimented a lot. We had fun doing it, and we wanted to do more of that stuff on this record. But at the same time, we wanted to make a record that was positive, that was uplifting. And I think that's exactly what we did. So it's all about, those songs, obviously, that are, there's a good mix, a healthy mix, I think, with those songs that are like very high energy, very fun, and songs that are pushing the boundaries and kind of stretching what you would think of, what you would think Simple Plan is. For instance, a song like Summer Paradise, I think, brings you somewhere else, where we've never been before, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay, so, and this is also the first time, speaking of Summer Paradise, it's the first time kind of you've done collaborations since the first album, and you've got a few big collaborations on there, like you've got Rivers Cuomo from Weezer, which you've got on Can't Keep My Hands Off You. And then also with Summer Paradise, you've got Kanan on the album, but then for the single, you've gone for Sean Paul. So what made you want to do that?
Well, for us, first of all, just the idea of having lots of guests on the record was something that we've always wanted to do, but never seemed to be able to fit in the schedule and make it work on the past records, except for the first one. So we really try to make a conscious effort to get as many on this one to make it fun. I think it's interesting for fans to hear a song like Freaking Me Out and have Alex from All Time Low on it, or as you said, Rivers on Can't Keep My Hands Off You. It's just fun. It's fun for us. It's fun for the fans. As far as Summer Paradise is, we went for Kanan on the album, and he did a great job. I think we all respect him as an artist. He's got a great voice, and he's a really cool guy. But when it comes to releasing singles, there's a lot of politics involved, and it didn't work out on his schedule, and we needed to find someone else that we could put on the record to be on the single. And Sean Paul is a great friend of ours that we met a long time ago, playing festivals with him, and just as Kanan, we think Sean Paul's a great artist and has a great vibe and really brings that sort of tropical island feel to the song even more. So we asked him to be part of it, and he heard the song, he loved it, and he was totally cool to be on it. He came out and shot the video with us in Barbados, and we had a great time. And I think for us, it's really cool to have two versions that we think are amazing. They're both very different. Kanan has a different style than Sean Paul, but I think in some weird way, they both work really well, and they're awesome for us to hear them both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shut it, boat.
And speaking of two versions, this is the first time you've done like a French version of a song, and your English version. So you had Natasha Bedingfield, and then you had Marie-May, another one.
Yeah.
Obviously you guys are French Canadian, so was that all about kind of showing your?
Yeah, well, since we are a French Canadian band, we use the French language all the time. We were raised in French and went to school in French. A lot of fans and even ourselves, we've always contemplated the idea of doing something in our first language, and it never really kind of worked out in the past albums, and we never really felt like it was the time to do it. And on this album, when we wrote Jet Lag, which was meant to be a duet, we figured it would be an easy way to sort of introduce that first time for a French thing is to bring a French artist to do what they do best, and for us to kind of break the ice a little bit. So we gave it a shot with Jet Lag. We did it with Marie-May, and I dabbled in the French a little bit, but she was doing most of it, and it turned out really good, and the fans loved it, and all the fans in France and Quebec and other French countries responded really well. And for us, it was kind of a weird boundary to cross and a weird thing, even though we are French, to do it in our music was kind of a big deal for us, and we were a little bit nervous, but seeing the response was amazing. And Marie-May is a great artist, and it was a pleasure to do it with her and to also have her come out and play some shows with us. We did some shows with her in France and in Quebec, and it's been a great experience.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that for me, myself, Natasha Bedingfield, I thought was so talented. When I heard the first rough mix that we had, I thought she was unbelievable. We all thought she had an amazing voice, and we're big fans of her. And she was super cool. She came down to Toronto to shoot the video, and we had a good bar tab at the airport hotel bar. It was fun.
Yeah. What would you guys say is your favorite song to play from Get Your Heart On Live?
For me, it's Can't Keep My Hands Off You. I get to be Rivers Cuomo for a minute.
A tie between Astronaut and Loser of the Year for me.
You dick, that's my song. Loser of the Year for me. You just said that because I said it earlier.
Suck it!
He turned you on.
What a douche.
Yeah, I like Loser of the Year because it's we usually play it on the encore, and it's got a lot of energy, and I like to do this to the crowd. Loser of the Year.
That's what I said!
I said that.
Also, like, you've been doing a lot of interesting stuff, like as far as live shows this year. I mean, I've seen a show of yours in September where you had like a full orchestra like behind you as you were playing.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
And that's, you know, quite unusual for a pop rock, pop punk band.
Yeah.
And then also at the Juno Awards, you had hula dancers as well. So
we try to do different things. You know, I think it's important to keep it interesting for ourselves and keep it interesting for the crowd and do different stuff. You know, I think when these opportunities are presented to us or when we can think them up, I think it's we like to have fun and try to do stuff that we've never done in the past. You know, and the orchestra thing was a great experience. We did it for a benefit concert we did for our foundation, and I think for us, we've always been fans of classical music, and we've always, I mean, Jeff and I played in the high school orchestra for 5 years, and to be able to do what we've been doing for the last 10 years with a professional orchestra was a really amazing experience. And it just, you know, it's one of those things where you can check it off your bucket list, you know, like playing a show with a symphony orchestra. I mean, who doesn't have that on their bucket list?
It's one of the you know, very prestigious orchestras of the world, and obviously, you know, it's an institution in Montreal. But it's just really great to revisit all those songs, and I think after like 10 years of doing this as a band, it's great to refresh things and kind of give a second life to certain songs and certain things that we do. And for instance, there's a song that we've been playing forever called "I'm Just a Kid." I just couldn't stand that song anymore. I was going to kill myself if we played it again. But revisiting that song in that orchestra setting kind of gave it a complete different perspective for me, and it just revived it completely. And now, whenever, you know, I play that song, I kind of hear the symphony part in the background in my head, and it's just, I'm crazy that way.
That's
and,
awesome.
and it's just really cool.
It was the most stressful event of my life,
God.
but it was the most beautiful one at the same time.
Oh, that's awesome. Also, the Simple Plan Foundation seems to be talking about Juno, and you received the Alan Waters Humanitarian Award at that.
Yeah.
And then you went on to meet Stephen Harper.
Yes.
So, I mean, what was that like to kind of get some recognition for?
You know, our charity work's always been very important for us. When we started out, we used to help out, you know, organizations that were, you know, approaching us to support certain causes. And after a while, we just decided, let's, you know, raise the money ourselves, give it to organizations that actually target teenagers, that target people that you know, that have similar problems, or hopefully even help the fans that we have that tell us about their issues. So over the years, we've raised over $1 million of donations, and we're helping out organizations that are dealing with poverty, schooling issues, drug, suicide, sexual identities. So I think it's very important for us to help out those causes, because we get a lot of testimonies, letters, and even tweets about fans of ours that have issues that they're dealing with. So hopefully we could talk about it. I think it opens a conversation about all those issues that are kind of taboo in our society. And I think by raising money, we're also helping out quite a bit. So meeting Ben Harper. Yeah, meeting. Oh, meeting Ben Harper. I'm really missing that up.
Oh God.
Harper is. It was great. It was an honor. You know, it's always cool. I think that the biggest gift of this whole thing is actually being able to make a difference in society, but getting the recognition of obviously the industry and our Prime Minister was kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, talking about how, you know, you get fans reacting in such like a positive way, you know, like young people to your music. You've always been known to have like really emotional ballads on previous records, but on this one, you got this song Saved My Life, and that's a little bit different. So tell us about that, how that came about.
Well, the idea of this song Saved My Life, I think, it was inspired by all the all of our fans that have told us about certain songs that we played, or just music in general, how it's helped them through tough times and really made a big difference in their lives. You know, whether it's a song like "Save You" that's about dealing with cancer, or "Perfect" about dealing with your own sort of dealing with being good enough for the world, or being good enough for your parents. I think all these songs that we've written and other bands have really changed people's lives, and I think that we wanted to sort of talk about that in a song. So we figured, why not call it "This Song Saved My Life," and talking about how this sort of thing can happen, how music can really make a difference. And what we did for the lyrics, instead of us just making up, you know, how it would really be, we basically asked our fans to tell us how they felt about our music and what our music meant to them, and maybe how we've changed their lives or how we've made an impact. And their answers became all the words for the song. So we just used their tweets, used their little sentences, and put them all together as the lyrics of the song, and it turned out to be a really cool song. You know, like written by the fans for the fans, sort of like a Welcome to My Life Part 2.
We have to make a video and have the fans direct it.
Yes. Then we have a show and have the fans play it. That's going to stay home.
That's an awesome idea. Should have thought about that before.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, like you mentioned before, you've been together, you know, for quite a lot of years now, and an interesting thing about you guys is your lineup's never changed. So, I mean, what would you say, you know, is your simple plan to success?
I think it's all about masturbation, you know, because I mean, there's five of us.
Jerks.
There's five of us. It's like a marriage, you know. It's like we're all married to each other, except we don't have sex. So masturbation's healthy. Yeah. No, I didn't talk about jerking each other off. It's all about the fact that we all masturbate quite a lot on the road. So
I think I think for me the main reason why we're still together and why we're still the same lineup, I think, is because we take our problems and we deal with them instead of avoiding them. I think we become our own therapists. You know what I mean? If we have an issue, instead of some guy just turning around saying like, what a bunch of jerks, and just not talking about it, we'll bring it up and we'll have a band meeting, which we have usually every week. Every month or week, and talk about what the issue is and resolve it, you know, and get rid of it instead of sweeping it under the rug and having a huge pile of dust under there. We really just face our issues, and I think we're also a democratic band. You know, if there's an issue that we have to vote on, we really get the five of us to vote on it. And if two don't agree or one doesn't agree, then you just got to deal with it. It's not me, the singer. You know, I would like it to be a dictatorship. That would be my perfect way of dealing with things. I would decide everything, but it doesn't work in a band. So it's all about democracy, and that seems to work for us.
Yeah, no, I think it's right.
Talk about masturbation.
Well, I thought he was gonna say when you said talk about our problems. You said we take our problems. I heard we take our prawns. I was like, what? Okay, so no, seriously, if there's one that gets outvoted, we do the 60-mile-per-hour test. We're on a tour bus and we're going 60 miles per hour, and we open the door and we kick him out. And if he survives,
he's still the man.
Still the man.
Survival of the fittest. And we've been fortunate enough to you know, we have ups and downs, you know, as a band. You know, sometimes you have a single that hits harder, and then suddenly it's just, you know, you have a single that flops. You know, we've had all of that. But I think over the years we still managed to have fans at our shows. Our fans are highly supportive. They're very very present, and we have
a purpose.
Yeah, and I think, you know, as a band, it's God, you guys are hard to focus around. And yeah, I think these fans are the reason why we're still together. You know, the fact that we still manage to play shows, you know, all around the world and play, you know, pretty big places still. Yeah, I think it helps.
Okay, that's great. And for, you know, you've changed your direction. I mean, obviously you're still a Simple Plan, and, you know, you can hear that sound across all your albums. What do you see for the next album? Like, have you got any ideas floating around, or?
I think we've seemed to be able to evolve while still staying true to who we are, and I think that it's not even staying true to who we are. I think that there's a sound that we have created that will just never really go away. I mean, for us, I mean, it'll always be there. It's your voice, bro. Yeah, it's my voice. You know, I mean, I think even if I tried to sing a song that sounded like Lady Gaga, I would probably still sound like Simple Plan. You know what I mean? Just because we have this identity, and I think that for us, the future, it will be just an evolution of what we do. You know, our albums they're so diverse in themselves. You know, there's like the last record, we have fast songs, slow songs, you know, upbeat songs, a little more sad songs. We've got all that kind of stuff. So really, all doors are open. We can go wherever we want. But I think the idea is keeping the melody and keeping the catchiness, that it's always going to be there.
Okay, last question for you now, and this is kind of the Banter Zine signature question, which we ask all bands, which is, if you guys could be an animal and you had superpowers, what animal with superpowers would you be?
I would be a dolphin with the ability to fly. Cause I
A
could,
flying dolphin.
Because I could live in the water and like surf the waves and like have sex with other dolphins because they're super sexy. And then I could fly. It'd be awesome.
I'd be a time traveler lion.
Lion?
A lion. A lion.
You're lying, mate.
Lion.
You're lying, mate.
Because time travel is awesome.
I'm the king of the jungle.
Yes.
I'd be a multiple orgasm giving horse.
I clap it out. That's the best one. Up to now. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.